Hi everyone, Salesforce Development Day 6. Let's see what we are going to learn today. We'll talk about the previous session overview, and then we will discuss about the few more attributes in the Apex page. And then we will talk about the URL parameter to open the Visualforce page in application. And we'll see one of the requirement, and then we'll talk about the Apex output link. And we'll have a quiz, homework, and then we will talk about the static resource, differences static resource in Visualforce page. And also we will see how the objects and fields information displays in Lightning, Classic, and Developer Console. And finally, we'll have a try head. Last class, we have been working with the Visualforce. What was the Visualforce name? So here page block section. Right, if I click on a preview button, no, this is the day before. So this is in the developer console to identify which one is created last. Right, so this is the information. But in case if you have so many things, you don't know which one is created. Now I can see more than 3 Visualforce pages, and I don't know which one is created. So in that case, what you can do is go to the Salesforce and here type with Visualforce. Type Visualforce pages. Click on a Visualforce pages. Click on Visualforce pages. And here you see all the Visualforce pages that are created. All the Visualforce pages that are created. And here it will give you when it was created Visualforce page. What is the date it is created and what is the date it is modified, and who has created and who has modified. Now just click on this. So the one which I wanted to know, the last which one is created. Now if I sort it again, now this is the latest one, 23/06/2023, 8:52 AM. This is what is created, VF Hospital. Now I have opened that, click on a preview. It's taking time, just hold on. Now this is what we have implemented in last class. So whatever we implement in Salesforce, whatever we do customization, whether it is a Visualforce, Apex, Lightning Aura, LWC, whatever we created, it will have a version. Now here, observe this. This is the Visualforce page. Now whenever we created the Visualforce page, API version, it says 58. API version, it says 58. It is a 58 version. Similarly, if I create a new Visualforce page, it says 58. But in case if you want to make a changes to this, you can click on this and it might go back up to 5 versions back, not more than that. It might go back up to 5 versions back, but not more than that. So you can change it to 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. Similarly, in the Salesforce also, if you want to change the API version, click on this, what are the page you have created it. Right, so this is the Visualforce page, and here you see two are there. One is a Visualforce markup, and the second one is a version setting. Version setting. Just click on this version setting. Now you can see here 58 is the version. 58 is the version, and this is also we have taken. If you want to change this, for example, I wanted to change this. Click on edit. Will I be able to make a changes to the version in the Salesforce? Here go to the version setting, and now here you have it. You can go up to whatever you wanted to go back, right? Till 15 it is going. But don't go till 15 because there are a few changes which are applied. Every release Salesforce is doing some updates, right? So in that case, 54 will be having a few updates, 55 will be having a few updates, 56 will be having few updates. So always take the latest version. Do not go back because sometimes it does not support your logic. So do not go to back. So that is whatever we are implementing, whether it is a Visualforce or whether it is a Apex or whether it is a Lightning Aura or LWC, for every custom application, there is a API version is there. By default, Salesforce is giving the default API version as a 58. This is one of the interview question also. What is the latest API version in the Salesforce? So we have to specify 58. So right now it is 58. Now, today we'll see few more things. Now, in Apex page, we have discussed about the Apex page. And in the Apex page, we have not discussed about any attributes. So last time, whenever we have implemented, this Apex page was blank. Now let's see what are the attributes which are available in the Apex page. Not all, but only few. So the first thing is that let's understand the attributes in the Apex page. One attribute is a standard controller. One attribute is standard controller. Standard controller is basically the name of the Salesforce standard object. The name of the Salesforce standard object that is used to control the behavior of the page. Could be a standard object or could be a custom object. Salesforce object. So the name of the Salesforce object that is used to control the behavior of the page. That means you have so many objects are there. You have so many objects are there. Now when you have so many objects in Salesforce, now if you want to refer those objects in the Visualforce page, so by using the standard control, you can use the name of the Salesforce object, and along with the object, it is going to control the behavior of the page. When I say behavior of the page, now it has a certain style, right? Now if you go to the Salesforce, now let me duplicate this. Now, if you click on your opportunities, and if you open it tab, now what is this? It is showing me is this color. Wherever I go, it shows in this color. Details, right? So this is the detail. This is the color. Now, similarly, in the lead also have a different selection. Now, let me show you in the classic. Classic, it will be clear. Let's switch to classic. Now, if I click on an account and I'm opening one of the account, you see there is a thin line which gets open. So here it is, the color is a blue color. If I click on a contacts, this color is a different, right? If I click on a positions, now this color is a different. Now every tab has a certain color. Every tab has a certain color. If I click on these candidates, candidates will be having a different color. And this is a kind of a pink, and if I click on a candidates, it's orange. Now if I click on the opportunities is a yellow. Right, similarly, forecast is a different object. Like every object or every tab is having a certain color. Every tab is having a certain color. For example, position, it's showing in the pink. Now if I open anything here, Salesforce, now all the lines if you see here, everywhere it is a pink. Everywhere it is pink. That means it is following the same styling. Entire page will have a same styling. Now those all will be automatically taken into the standard controller. Those all will be taken into the standard controller. For example, now here Salesforce object. In the Salesforce object, you have a standard object as well as the custom object. You have a standard object as well as the custom object. Standard objects are nothing but which are provided by the Salesforce. Custom objects are nothing but created by admin development based on the client requirement. Based on the client requirement, admin or a developer has created the object. Whether it is a standard object or whether it is a custom object, if I wanted to simply use those object and whatever the fields are there at the object level, if I wanted to use those fields, what we can do is in the Apex page level, we have to use the attribute called standard controller. That means standard controller equal to opportunity. Standard controller equal to opportunity. Now, if you remember the last time which we have discussed, the one which we have discussed about the one scenario. Let me open that. Right, so last time we have discussed about this. Now here, if you observe this, now this is the scenario, if you observe this, now here, what we are doing is we are calling the object details, object field details. Could be a standard field or could be a custom field, could be a standard object, could be a custom object. Now, if I wanted to retrieve this information, Apex page level, we have to specify the standard controller equal to opportunity. If these two objects are matching, then only it is going to print. Now, in the standard controller, if you specify account and here you are referring the opportunity.name, then you will not get any output. Basically, it will not allow you to save the Visualforce page. So standard controller, what are the standard controller? Object name is specified. The same object fields we can put it in the output field. So which is a standard controller. And the next one is tab style. So whenever we use a standard controller equal to account or a standard controller equal to position or a standard controller equal to opportunity, what will happen is by default it will take the style of that object. By default, it will take the style of the object, style, coloring, whatever is there, it will take everything same. For example, you are using the standard controller equal to opportunity. You are using the standard controller equal to opportunity. But you want a styling of the lead. You want a styling, coloring of the lead. You wanted to use the opportunity object, but opportunity object, color, style, I do not want to use it. I wanted to use a different object style. Different object style. In that case, we will go for a tab style equal to control the color, styling, and selected tab of the particular page. Now we will see with the example, take a notes of it. Let me know once it is done. Okay, let's see the requirement. So client requirement is display the opportunity information section and fields. That means inside the section, opportunity name, where the label name is a name. And then I need to display the amount and I need to display the close date. I need to display the close date. So basically the requirement should be, output should be like this. Opportunity information. Now this is a Visualforce page. Now inside this Visualforce page, I need to create a section. Inside the section, I need to create a fields. Now here inside this page, two columns are there. In first column, name and close date. In the second column, amount field. In the second column, amount field. So this is what I need to implement. So first of all, how will I be implementing is this one on top level. I'll be using the apex page, apex colon page, apex colon page, and here I'll specify the standard controller equal to opportunity. Standard controller equal to opportunity. And that is on top level. Then after that, within this page, I'll create a page block. I'll create a page block. Apex colon page block. Now, within this page block, what I'll be doing, I need to create a section. Now this one is, I need to create a page block section. Apex colon page block section, and title I need to specify here, title equal to opportunity information. And then within this I need to create a, in order to display the field, I'm just displaying the field. I'm not asking the user to enter. In order to display the field, I need to use tag called apex colon output field. I need to use apex colon output field. Inside this output field, I need to specify the value equal to whether it is a name. I should specify the name. If it is a close date, then I need to specify the close date. If it is an amount, I need to specify the amount. Right. So these are the different tags I need to implement in order to build this Visualforce page. Now let's go ahead and implement. And let me implement the new Visualforce page. VF underscore opportunity. Click on save. Perfect. So we are implementing a page for a opportunity. So I'll take a standard controller equal to opportunity. Standard controller equal to opportunity. Now within this, I'm going to specify apex colon page block. And within this, I'm going to specify the apex colon page block section. And here I'll specify the title title equal to opportunity information. Opportunity information, and within this we will have a apex colon output field. Apex colon output field value equal to opportunity name dot name self closed. Similarly, I have a apex colon output field value equal to opportunity amount dot amount. Similarly, I need to display the close state. Apex colon output field value equal to curly braces exclamation opportunity dot close date. Close date. Let's say this. Output field let's say now. In case if you have any issues in your page, in the problem it will show. Right now it is saved. There is no star mark here. Now I'll click on a preview. As soon as I click on a preview, you see here it is not displaying any data. It is opportunity, it is taking the opportunity, but it is not displaying any data. Let me switch to the lightning. Now, it is showing you the opportunity information and then opportunity name, close date, amount. It is displaying it. But if you observe this, I'm not getting any name or a close date. Basically, I wanted to display the data, display the opportunity name, display the close date, display the amount. That is the requirement. But it is displaying the object styling. It is displaying the object fields. What are the fields that I wanted? It is able to show me all the information. But why it is not displaying the values here? I have specified the value equal to opportunity name, value equal to opportunity amount, value equal to opportunity close date. When I say value equal to opportunity name, it has taken the standard object, whatever the inside the opportunity, whatever the field name is there, that's the field name it has taken. It has taken the field name. Right here it is displaying the opportunity name. Right, so what is the name of the, now let me go to the object manager. Now in the object manager, let's open the object opportunity. Click on this opportunity and let's go to the fields. And here, if you search a name, right, label name is opportunity name. Now, whatever we have taken here, it's an API name of the, what is we have taken? We have taken the API name. Now, in the Apex class, we have to always take the API name of the field. We have to always refer the API name of the field. Now, once you refer the API name of the field, now while displaying it, what it does is it will display the label name. That means whatever this field name is there, this field name is API. This field name is API. Now you need to refer this API name in the Visualforce page coding. And once you click on a preview button, you will be able to see the label name of the field. When you click on a preview button on the Visualforce page, you will be able to see the label name on the Visualforce page. Now, that is displaying perfectly fine. Label name is displaying correctly. But here, when I go to the developer console, the data is on the Visualforce page, the data is not displaying. It is not displaying any data. Now, how can I display the data? How can I display the data? Now, if you see, the scenario is, now if you see here, inside the opportunity object, you have opportunity object here. This is the opportunity object. This is the opportunity object. Inside the opportunity object, if you click on this button, what will happen? You can see here recently viewed or all the opportunities, whatever it is, recently viewed or all the opportunity. When you click on this, how many records are there? There are so many records inside the opportunity. There are so many records inside the opportunity. Now, when you click on a Visualforce page preview button, when you click on a Visualforce page preview button, how this will be knowing it, which record should I need to display it? Because there are some 100 records in the opportunity, 100 records in the opportunity. When we click on a preview button on the Visualforce page, out of these 100 records, which record should we display on the Visualforce page? How the system will know? Because I'm not specifying the ID anywhere in the Visualforce page. Am I specifying anywhere ID? I'm not specifying. I'm specifying the object and I'm specifying the field name and here also field name, here also field name. I'm not specifying anything. But if I go to the opportunity, in opportunity I have so many records are there. Out of these records, which one should be displayed? Out of this, which one should be displayed on this page? System got confused. That's the reason it is displaying the blank. That's the reason it is displaying the blank value. Now, let's take this URL. Let me create a new page. Now, we have a URL. Let's copy this URL. Now, if you observe this URL, now from the beginning to the till this point is this is the basic URL, Salesforce URL, basic Salesforce URL. Only the difference is here you have a vf.post.com, which represents that it is displaying the Salesforce Visualforce page. It represents the Salesforce Visualforce page. Right? This is represents the Salesforce Visualforce page. Now, if you take the lightning URL, let's take the lightning URL. And this is the lightning URL. Let's copy this. Right, so the only difference between this is the Salesforce Lightning. This is Salesforce Lightning. Lightning page. Salesforce Lightning page. Now, if you compare these two, only the difference that it has is here develop.lightning and here develop.vf. Develop.vf. If you take a classic, let's go to the classic, switch to classic. Now let's take a copy of this. Now this one is a Salesforce classic page. This is Salesforce classic page. So if you compare Lightning Classic and VF page, only the difference what is you can see here. This is Salesforce, and then only difference that you can see here. Here it is a classic is having a my, Salesforce Visualforce page is having a VF, and then Salesforce Lightning page is having a Lightning. That is the difference. Now, this is a basic URL. Up to here, it's a basic URL. Now, after that, it is displaying the apex to represent that this is going to display the apex page. It is going to display the apex page. It is going to display the apex page. This is the page name. Whatever the Visualforce page is there, this is the page name, right? This is the page name. And here apex is represents it is a custom. Apex is representing the custom. So this is, it is representing the custom, and this is the Visualforce page name. We have page name, and this is a apex, which is a custom one. Now after that, whatever it is displaying, this is after that we have a small, which is displaying as a question mark, which is displaying as a question mark, which is a continuation, After that, we have a core.apex pages dot request dot dev console equal to 1. Dev console equal to 1. Now, whatever this is there, this is by default Salesforce is displaying it. By default, Salesforce is displaying it. Now, we really no need to care about this one. Whatever it is displaying it, take out from here. You don't need this. You do not need this. Now, till this point, what is happening whenever it is executing it, it is displaying the Visualforce page. It is displaying the Visualforce page here. Just a casual Visualforce page. Here it is showing the opportunity name, and then here opportunity section. Here it is the opportunity name, amount, and the close date. These are the fields it is displaying here. But what I need is we have to display the data here. We have to display the data. In order to display the data, after this question mark, what we have to do is we have to provide ID equal to you need to provide a Salesforce object ID. You need to provide Salesforce object ID. That ID could be a 18-digit ID. That ID could be a 18-digit ID, could be a 15-digit ID. Could be a 15-digit ID. You have to pass ID equal to, after the question mark, you have to pass it. After the question mark, you have to pass it. Now, after question mark, ID equal to Salesforce object ID, which could be a 18-digit and which could be a 15-digit. If you pass the data, and if you click on executed, immediately the data will be displayed here. Whatever the data is there, the data gets displayed here related to that object ID, that record. Now let's go ahead and see that. Now in Salesforce, let's go to the opportunity and let's click on the information here. Now this is the opportunity which has a close date, which has the amount. Now I'll take this ID. This is a 18-digit ID and click on developer console and Visualforce page. Now after the question mark, I'm removing it. After the question mark, ID equal to, I'm just adding that, I'm just pasting the 18-digit ID. Now it is displaying the Sushma, close date and amount. Now if I provide another Visualforce page, another opportunity ID, let's take another one. Now this is the Express Logistics standby generator. Now I'll copy the ID here and go to the Visualforce page. Now it is showing the Sushma. I'll just replace the 18-digit ID to another 18-digit ID. Click on, hit enter. Now it is displaying the Express Logistics standby generator, and this is the close date and this is the annual. Now this is how we are displaying the data from the Salesforce. Data from the Salesforce I am displaying it. Right now I am giving a ID equal to here. In the VF page we are passing the ID. But in real time, when we going further, we need not to pass ID separately. Right now I'm just modifying the URL here in order to show the data here. But going further, you need not to pass a ID. Automatically from the Apex we will pass the ID. Automatically from the Apex we will pass the ID. Now how to pass the ID we will see later. But now for practicing purpose, we just updated the URL with the ID equal to whatever the 18-digit is there, 18-digit ID or else 15-digit ID. 15-digit ID you can get it from the Salesforce Classic. Salesforce Classic you can get it the 15-digit. Now this is how the data is displaying it. But if you want to add a few more fields, like for example, I wanted to add a stage. Let's take the API name of the stage, which is a stage name. Copy this API name, go to the developer console. Now here I am going to add apex colon output field value equal to curly braces explanation opportunity dot stage name. Click on save. Click on save. Now let's copy the again ID. Now initially it will be displayed blank. After question mark, take out everything. Add a ID equal to whatever the 18-digit ID is there. Just paste the 18-digit ID. Now we can see these all information is displaying it. This is output field and the standard component. Now, what are the opportunity is there, right? What are the opportunity tab style is there? That's the same tab style it is displaying it. Now, if I go to the classic, the styling and color will be more visible because we have pages mostly for the classic, right? So if I click on the opportunity and here this color, whatever this color is there, that's the same color it is displaying it. For example, I want the style and the tab color, everything should be similar to the account. In that case, what I'll do is, in the Apex page, I'll add a tab style. Tab style equal to, I'll say here account. Click on save. Let me switch to the Lightning. And let's go to the opportunity. And I'll take one of the opportunity here. And let's take this ID. Refresh. Now it is displaying in opportunity, displaying in the form of tab style, coloring, everything is displaying similar to the account color. Whatever the account tab color is there, it is showing the same tab color. Right, for example, here instead of showing the opportunity name, now here it is a close date, amount, stage, opportunity information, it is already saying at the top. Instead of showing here opportunity name, from where am I getting the opportunity name? Directly it is pulling from the Salesforce object, whatever the object is there. From the object, whatever the label name is there, directly that label name is displaying here. But I wanted to display the different label. Instead of taking from the field label, opportunity field label, I wanted to override the label. Now in that case, you use the attribute called label equal to name. Label equal to name. Now it is displaying the name. Let me update here ID equal to 18-digit ID. I am passing it. It is saying name, close date, amount, stage. Now I can collapse it. I can expand this. Right, that is the default feature. Now these all are available. So name, close date, amount, stage. Amount, stage. Name, close date, amount. Right? So this is the requirement which we have implemented. Any questions right now so far, whatever we have discussed?
Hi, good morning, ma'am. I had one question here. So you did not use the apex form tag here. Generally, when we use the page and page block, right, we do use the apex form tag, right? So why is it not used here? And it's still working as expected, even though we have not used it.
Apex form is only needed whenever it is a user input is required here.
Okay.
So if I add an input field, that time it will ask me to enter the take the apex form. For the output field, I do not need a user input. Now I'll add it here input field. Let's click on and save. Now it is going to throw an error saying that you need to add it. So here it is, it's not accepting it. Whenever you need user input, like user has to enter the data here or user has to click on the button. In that case, you need a apex form. Now I'm not using the button here. I'm not even using the input. I'm just using the output field. I'm just displaying the field. For displaying purpose, we do not need a apex form.
Okay, clear, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so let's move on. The next one is, this is what we have seen, the URL parameter to open the Visualforce page in app. Now, starting you will have a Salesforce URL, which is a basic URL. Then you have a Apex and then Apex page name, which is a Visualforce page name. After this, there is a question mark and then you need to add ID equal to whatever the Salesforce object ID, which could be a 18-digit or which could be a 15-digit. You just need to add this information into the URL parameter. Then you can see the data of that particular record onto the Visualforce page. Next one we will see about the output link. The next tag is output link. Now apex colon output link. So basically, for example, if you want to add a link here, I wanted to, along with this field's data, I wanted to display the link. Now here I wanted to display the, let's say, www.salesforce.com, and then I'll use this as a, I'll display this information as a link. As a link, I'll be displaying this information. As a link, I'm going to display this link. Now, if I click on this link, it should be opening that link on the next page. Now, how can I add this link? Whatever the URL is there, if I go to the www.salesforce.com. Now it should be redirected to this page. Right, so how can I do that? How can I implement a link on the Visualforce page? How can I build the link on the Visualforce page? In order to build the link on the Visualforce page, we have to use a Visualforce tag is called apex colon output link. Now it has a open Visualforce tag and close Visualforce tag, or else you can use it as a self-closed also, you can use it. Output link, you can use it as a self-closed. And we will use this component to display the URL link. And attributes are, it has a few attributes. One is value, the URL that needs to be passed in the output link, like www.salesforce.com, whatever the URL is there, that URL value we have to pass it here. Now, next one is a displayed attribute, disabled attribute. Disabled attribute is nothing but it's a Boolean value that specifies whether the link is displayed in the disabled status or not. Sometimes I just wanted to show the link here, but it should be disabled. If you click on also, nothing should be happening. So in that case, what we will do is we will use the disabled attribute. Now the next one is a style. Style is if you want to apply a inline styling. We will see inline style, and along with this inline style, we have the external style also. There are two attributes are there, style class. There are two attributes, style and style class. Now these are the different attributes which are available on the output link. And let's see the requirement. Take a notes of it, then we will see the requirement. Taking the notes of it. Okay. So let's move on. The requirement is display the URL at the bottom of the page. Now here I wanted to display the information. Now how should we implement? Now let's implement. I'll take the same Visualforce page. At the bottom of this, I wanted to display the output link. Now after this page block section, I'll add apex colon output link. Output link. Now this output link, here the value, first attribute is value. Value I wanted to pass it is https://www.salesforce.com. Salesforce.com. Now, what is the text needs to be displayed? Now, if I save this, is it displaying here? It is not displaying anything, right? Because this is just a value. What is the value? But what is the text needs to be displayed? You have to enter here. Now I'll say here open Salesforce. Open Salesforce. Now save this. Now it is displaying the open Salesforce. Right? Now here open Salesforce. If I hover it, it is changing the color, and if I click on this, it is redirected to this page. It is redirected to this page. But if you see here, it is displaying in the different color, and if I hover it, it is coming in the different color. Now what I want is, I need to change this information. So inspect it. The first of all, it has to be changed in the, now this is the one. Now first it should change the, let's change the font weight. Let's say, let's leave it as a bold. Now it is displaying in the bold format. Now I can at least see which is coming in the bold format. Similarly, I wanted to update I'll just increase the size of it. Right, so let's increase the size. So size of the font size equal to inherit initial large. Let's keep it as a large. Let's take a large. And then also I wanted to change the color. Color should be a, let's say, blue. Okay. Now these are the informations which are available. Now these are the styling that I need to use it. Now this inspect is just to test it. It's just, I wanted to test how it is displaying it, how it is displaying it. If I refresh it again, I'll lose all my, whatever the styling that I have applied on the inspect, all the styling will lose it, because those are just for a temporary purpose if I wanted to make any changes. Just a temporary purpose if I wanted to make any changes. Now, usually what we used to do here, I used to add a style, right? We used to add a style. Now here, style equal to, these are the styles which I'm adding it here. I need to make changes at the developer console, click on a save. Now it is displaying in this format, right? Now instead of adding the so many styles here, what are the styles that I needed? I need the styles of, now here I needed these many styles which I needed. Now I might be adding a few more. I might need to add few more styles. In that case, instead of adding at this style level, I'll combine all this. and put it into the separate box. Now here I'll place it into the separate box. Now this box name, I'll keep it a name for this. Let's say it is a link or a new link. Now whatever this, I'll give a name to it. And within this box, I'll keep it. That means I'm going to add it here, curly braces. I'm going to add the curly braces. New link, open the curly braces and close the curly braces. These all information I'm adding into the one box. And this, what I can do is, instead of adding this entire style on the here, instead of adding the style here, I'll take out this style. From here on the page level. Because the same style, wherever I'm using the output link, wherever, in case if I in entire page, if I'm using different place of the output link. Now every output link I need to write a style. Now instead of writing the every output link a style repeated, so what I can do is, all the styles I'll put it on top. Now here we have a tag called style. Now within this style, I'll create a box which is a new link. Now inside this, I'm going to add few details. Now here I'm going to add all this font weight, font size, color, everything I'm going to add it. And tomorrow if I use another output link, instead of adding a style here, I can just refer this style. I can refer this style here. Now, how can we refer that style? Now, I have a style here. And whenever you are implementing your own custom style, just put that dot in front of that custom style, because this is referenced as a in this namespace. In this namespace, we are creating a new style. In this namespace, we are creating a new style. We are creating a new style. Right? So now here in this style, we are creating the new style which is called as a new custom style which is called as a new link. Now I'll copy that new link, and here we have a one more attribute which is called as a style class. We should not be using the style, we should be using the style class. Style is whenever you wanted to directly apply the style. Style class is nothing but you have implemented some class here. You have implemented some class and you wanted to refer that class here. So click on save. Click on save. Now it is displaying it. Now let's refresh. Right, so now it is displaying the information. Now it is displaying the information. Color blue is did not apply. What is the reason color blue did not apply? Let's see that. Now we have updated the weight and the size, but the color blue did not update it. The reason is it is taking the Salesforce default functionality. If I remove this, then it is going to highlight this. In that case, for example, if you want to override the standard functionality or standard coloring, standard size or standard weight, in case if it is not taking that color, now here it is not taking the color, I wanted to override the existing standard color. In that case, what we will use is blue important. Blue important. That means override this. That means override this. Let's save this. Now it is overwritten. Right, now if I click on this inspect, now I could see that what are the standard one is there, standard one is right, and here it is blue important is override. Right, if I remove this important, what will happen? Whatever the standard one is there, standard one is going to display. See, the standard one is overwritten. Now if I say here override, then immediately it will override the important. When I say important, it will immediately override the standard coloring and it will display here. It will display here. So there are two things are there. One is a style, another one is a style class. First one is a style. Style is where you wanted to apply the directly style on the tag, Visualforce tag. But if you apply a style here, right now you have added a 3, maybe you need a 5 styles, right? And tomorrow if you are creating another output link, that output link also should be having the same styling and same hyperlink, right? Everything is same, it should be displayed. In that case, every time you adding the style here, better create a class separately. This is an inline style. This is inline style. Create a class separately and that class name is, give the class name to it, which is followed by the dot, and apply that style class, whatever the class name is there, that class name, give it here. Right, that is the style class. Style class. Also, I wanted to apply in order to display this on the center. In order to display this on center, what I wanted to add is I wanted to add text align. Text hyphen align equal to colon center. Place it as a center. Text align center. And this is also I'm adding into the style class. Now it is refreshed, but still it is displaying in the same page. What is the reason? Now if I click on this, it has a text align center is displaying it. But is it coming here center? No, it is not coming in the center. Now what is the reason? Because the length of the text, now if you see here, now if you see the name, whatever the name is there, now it is having a length of that is a long. Similarly, you have another length is a long and another one which is having a long. But if you see the open Salesforce, what is the length of it? It is just whatever is there, whatever the output link is there, it is just the length is this one. But I wanted to display here, right? I wanted to display here. Now, in order to occupy this entire space, what I wanted to do is, right now it is occupied only this much. Now, what I wanted is occupy entire screen length, and display this here, display that here. Now, how can we do that? Now, instead of, right now the space is the issue. Now, in order to add an entire space to be occupied, I'll do here, I'll take a div. I'll take a div. Within the div, I'll paste it this output link. I'll paste it output link. Now let's refresh. Now let me check whether it is taken the entire. Now it has taken the entire space. It has taken the entire space. Within this space, now I wanted to bring that into the center. Right? So in that case, text align center will not work here. Text align center does not work at this place. I have to give it at the div level. Div style equal to text align center. Let's save this. Right now it is displaying in the center. Now it is displaying in the center. Right, so the one which we have implemented is apex::output link. I have implemented apex::output link, but what it is displaying here, it is converted into the A. It is converted into the A. We have implemented the apex::output link, but what it is converted in the website, the client side, it is converted into the A. Right, href, this is a HTML tag. A is a HTML tag. Href equal to whatever the page name is there, and the class, what are the class that we are calling the class? Class new link is nothing but here is the class new link, and this is the styling that we have get updated. That is the style which we have updated. Right, so this is the tab which is getting updated. Now, for example, if I click on this, right now what is happening? It is overriding the current page. It is overriding the current page. Now, instead of overriding the current page, what is happening if I click on this? In the same page, it is opening up the page. But instead of opening up the page in the same page, now I wanted to open this in the next tab. I wanted to open in the next page. Now there is some attribute which is called as a target. There is a attribute which is called as a target. Now if I give underscore blank, now let's save this. Now let's refresh, click on this. Now it is opening in the next page. If I give a underscore blank, it is opening up the, once opening up the issues here, right? Once opening up the tab. Now here, whatever I am clicking on, as soon as I click on it, it is opening up the next tab. It is not overriding the existing tab. It is not overriding the existing tab. Similarly, we have another one which is called as a target equal to self. Target equal to self. Self is nothing but opening the same page. Opening the same page. By default, it will open in the same page. Now, if I click on this, it is opening up the same page, which is a self. Blank is open in the next tab. Self is open in the same. Similarly, we have another target which is called as a top. Which is called as a top. Let's see what will happen if I use the top. Now page is getting refreshed here. Click on this open page. Now it is complete URL is redirected. Top is also complete URL. It is getting redirected. So let's give it as a blank. So there are two things are there, target equal to blank and target equal to self. The attribute which is having target attribute. Target attribute is having underscore blank, which is nothing but open the page in next tab. In next tab. Underscore self. Open page in same tab. In same tab. So that's about the output link. Output link, within that we have a style and the style class. Style and style class. Style class is nothing but on top of the page if you want to implement any class, because we will be referring that in multiple places. We will be referring this class in multiple places. In that case, what you can do is you can create a separate tag called style. Separate tag called style. Within this style, we will be using the class called new link. Now, in future, in any of this entire page, if you want to use the output link with the same format of or same styling of this, whatever it is displaying this one. Similarly, you wanted to add another output link somewhere at the bottom. Right, in that case, simply you can use the style class equal to whatever the class name is there, that class name you can give it. Automatically, all the styling gets applied. All the styling will be applied. Now, let's move on. Let's see a few questions. Apex colon output field used for
Display the value.
three fields.
Standard control.
Standard.
Field label.
Out of these three options, which option is the right one?
Third one.
Second one.
Third.
So whenever we use a output field will take care of the label as well as the value. What is the value that needs to be displayed and what is the label that needs to be displayed? Everything can be taken care by the output field. So to display the field label and the field value of the Salesforce object. Field label and the field value of the Salesforce object. It's not only the label or it's not only the value. Both will be taken care by the Salesforce, the output field. Now the next one, if developer want to display an output field for an account's name field in the output field, then what should they do? These are the options. What should be the right option here?
C.
DC.
Developer wants to display the output field for an account. So it will be the option C, which is the value equal to curly braces exclamation account.name. What is standard controller attribute? What is the answer for this?
People Salesforce standard object. Behavior of this page.
Behavior of this.
B.
A or B or C? This is a multiple values you can select it, multiple options you can select it.
BC.
B. C.
B and C. The name of the Salesforce standard object that is used to control the behavior of this page, as well as the name of the Salesforce custom object that is used to control the behavior of the page. How can we display the apex command button tag button with the pre-built styles?
Page block button.
Place block button.
Day 4
Page block button. Now take a homework of it. Write a program using the Visualforce page to display the account information and the address information as below. Now you need to display the account information, address information. In the account, you have a account name, account description, account rating, account type, account industry, account name, account annual revenue. Along with this, you have an account billing address, account billing state, account billing city, account billing zip code or postal code. These all information you need to display from the account on the Visualforce page.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
how to replace the field labels, ma'am? How to change the place of field labels? Once you can explain.
In order
By
to
using
change the
column.
field label, you need to use the attribute called label.
Like not the name, ma'am. Layout of the labels. Like we can adjust one field to right, one field to left, and for one line 4 fields.
Position.
For
Ma'am.
second line, yeah, the position.
So if you want to maintain these positions, now for example, right now it is displaying the 2 columns, okay? If you want to display in a single column, there are 2 ways you can do it. Either you take out this public page block section, or else here you can give the columns. Columns, not columns, sorry. Columns equal to, I'm saying it here, 1. Now everything will be displayed in a one single column. It's saving it. Now everything is displayed in single column. Now if I pass the ID, let's pass this information. After the question mark, ID equal to. Now everything is displaying in a single column. Now if you want 3 columns, you can say here columns equal to 3. But by default, it will display the 2 columns because that is a Salesforce functionality. We will see another
So,
way which
for
we can
second column,
implement
if
it.
I want to, no,
We will see another
if I
way.
want to change the position of stage for second column, what we can do, ma'am?
Position of the
If you want to change the position of stage to the right side, second column, I am unable to do that, ma'am, actually.
So you have to divide it. So basically in the page block section, whatever the fields are there, this fields has to be, you are saying that whatever the information you are placing it within the page block section, where the fields needs to be displayed is controlled by the page block section. Is controlled by the page block section. Now you cannot make it one field display this side, one field display the other side. You cannot make it. Now here you need to specify the 3 columns. Now if you say that specify the 3 columns, whatever within this, whatever the fields are there, everything will be gets moved into the 3 columns. But there is another way is there, another way we will see it later. Basically, you can divide any different structure also. This complete layout you can divide into the grid level.
Okay.
You cannot make it this field should be displayed left, this field should be right, or this field should be right, this field should be left. You cannot make it. The display of the field is controlled by the page block section.
Can't we
Or else what
display
you can do
the
is,
row
you
number
can-
and column number for a particular field?
Or else you can do is take out this page block section and just use the page output field. Okay, so if you just use the output field, it will display continuously 1111. Right, so then what you can do is put a breakpoint here. Wherever you want it to display the right or a left, you just need to take out this page block section from here. Then use the HTML commands. For that HTML commands, you can place this field just this side. Like a right alignment, left alignment. You can use the HTML tags. For that, you do not need a page block section.
Also, one question regarding output link. So currently you have used the open tag and close tag, and in between those tags, you have used the open Salesforce. But what if I use the self-closing tag, where we can provide that open Salesforce in which particular attribute?
So let's see, do we have anywhere label? Does it says label? I do not have a label. So it just says the value, but I do not have a label anywhere. So you have to use the open and close.
Oh, okay, so self-closing tags is not of any use in this case.
Yeah, so self tag is not available. And there is a title. Let's see the title here. Now let me take out this. Title will be displayed on top. And here you can say title equal to Salesforce. Click on save. Now let's refresh this. It's saving. No, it's not displaying anything. No, self-close tag, we cannot use it for the output.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so let's move on. Homework 2. Write a program using the Visualforce page to display the lead information, address information, and other information shown as below. Lead information you have to show here. What are the existing lead record is there? Lead name, lead rating, lead mobile, lead website, and the address information, street, Lead level, you have a lead street, postal, lead source, city, industry, lead status. And in other information, just show the description, annual revenue, industry, lead source and lead status. You are displaying the lead source and lead status both the sections, in the address section, in the other information. Take a notes of it. Completed? Okay. So let's move on. Now, if you look at any site, like for example, ICICI Bank, it has a standard color, right? It has everywhere some light orange or some color it is displaying it, or yellow color, right? So this color, wherever, whichever the page I go, whether I go to the city or login page, right? So everywhere it is displaying me the same color, whether I go to the NRI page, whichever I go to the any page, if I go to in ICICI Bank, every page is follow the same standard logo and standard color, right? Similarly, if you go to the Volkswagen, car, now it also follow the same rule. Now if you go to any option, finance, and go to any Volkswagen, wherever you go, it is following the same color, same logo, same structure. That means whenever we implement a website, this website, wherever we go, every page should have a same font, same color, right? Same styling should be there. Entire application should be followed the same structure. Similarly, in the Salesforce, Salesforce, which are the page I go, everywhere the font is same. Everywhere the font is same. Similarly, the styling is the same. Styling is the same. Size of the font, if it is a header, it is the same size. If it is a record level, it's the same size. If it is a detail section, in the detail section, if it is a hyperlink, it should be showing the hyperlink with a different color. It has a certain format. It has a certain format. Now assume that what are the page I go? These pages are they have implemented using the Visualforce page. Using the Visualforce page. That means personal is a one Visualforce page, NRI is a another Visualforce page, business is a another Visualforce page, corporate is a another Visualforce page, gift city is another Visualforce page. That means whenever the developer is implementing the Visualforce page, every time they have to add a style. After this, if I go to any other Visualforce page, that is also need to be added the style. That means you are repeating the styles, you are repeating the CSS. Right, you are not repeating the content here, you are repeating the style and CSS. Why we are repeating the style CSS? Because whenever we implement a page or a company logo or company page, whenever we implement a company page, wherever we go, it has to follow that styling, CSS, styling, the font and whatever the text is there, everything should be followed in a certain way. Right, I cannot simply this show in the personal show in the orange, NRI show in the blue color, business show in the yellow color, this should show in the red color. I cannot give those options. So whenever we implement the application has to follow the entire application should follow the same color, same styling, same font details. Right, so whenever we implement a Visualforce pages, I need to add. For every individual Visualforce page, I need to add a styling. Now here it is, if I click on this NRI, it is showing apply now in a different styling. Now this is showing in the same styling and this is also showing same styling. This is also showing same styling. That means those all are different Visualforce pages. Every page is common into the style. In that case, how can we implement? How can we implement? Instead of adding the styling for every page, instead of adding the styling for every page, here I have added the styling. Similarly, this page also I can add a styling. Similarly, this page also I can add the styling. Instead of adding the styling in every page, right? Instead of writing this logic into the every page, what can I do it? In order to do that, we have a concept called static resource. We have a concept is called static resource. Static resources is nothing but in the Salesforce. In Salesforce, Salesforce has provided some concept is called static resource. By using this static resource, I can upload a content. I can upload a content that developer can reference in a Visualforce page. I can upload some content there. What kind of a content? Could be an image or could be a style sheet, could be a JavaScript, could be a CSS, anything that I can upload it there. Anything I can upload. And when I say anything, images, style sheet, which is a CSS, JavaScript, jar file, right? So these files we can upload it in the static resource. Or libraries, any libraries if I have, then I can upload the libraries in this static resource. Whenever we upload the content or a file into the static resource, the limit for an organization is a 250 MB. For organization, it's up to 250 MB static resource. That means at least each static resource can go up to 5 MB. If you are increasing that above 5 MB, you just need to cross check that how many files you are uploading it. Right? Each file, the limit is 5 MB. But if you are crossing it, either Salesforce system is going to alert you saying that you have uploaded more than 5 MB size. And overall, in the organization wise, it is a 250 MB file size on the static resource. Now the navigation steps to go for a static resource is log into the Salesforce Lightning, click on a setup and custom code static resource. Custom code static resource. Now let me show you this one, then we will take a notes of it. Now here, search for a static resource. Search for static resource. Click on this static resource. It is inside the custom code. When you click on a static resource, it says that use the static resource to upload the content that you want to reference in a Visualforce page, including the zip file, .zap file, images, style sheet, JSS, and others. Right? Whatever you wanted to upload it, you can upload it just by clicking on this new button. When you click on a new button, it will give you certain options that you have to enter. Certain options you have to enter. Now, what are those options? When you click on a new button, you will see 4 fields on the new page. Those 4 fields is, the first one is a name, where you need to specify the name of the static resource. And the next one is a description. Where you need to add the more information about the static resource. And you have a file option here where you need to choose the file from your local system. You need to choose a file from the local system. The type of file is .css, .jar, .zip, .jpg, .png. These are the files which will be accepted by the static resource. You can also load the .pdf also. And these are the files which are available. You can upload it. And the last one is called cache control. Cache control. There are 2 options on the cache control. The first one is a private. Private is nothing but cannot share with other users in the Salesforce organization. Whoever is the person is loading for the image or loading for the CSS file, only that person can see the resource, or wherever he is applying the resource, this particular static resource, only the person who has loaded, only that person can see. Other users cannot see. If it is a public, we can share with any other user. We can share with other users in the Salesforce organization. Now these are the static resource. Take a notes of it, static resource. Let me know once it is completed. Let's move on. Now what I'll be doing is, what are the CSS files that we have implemented? I'll take a simple example. Let me implement a Visualforce page. Click on a new Visualforce page. VF_style. Now here within this, I'll simply add a few keywords here, which I'll take it as a HTML tag, and also I'll take it as a paragraph tag. Let's say that in H1 tag, I'll simply say that welcome to Swapna IT. And paragraph, I'm going to just add in some text here. I'm going to add some text. And this is the text I have added. Okay, now if I click on the save button, click on preview. And this is how it is displaying the information. Now wherever in entire org, whichever the Visualforce page is using the H1, those should be using all the H1s should be in a different style. All the in entire org, whatever the Visualforce page could be. So that is like a H1, let's say color, colon, let's take some color. Right click, inspect. Okay, let's take this crimson. I wanted to add this crimson. Also, I wanted to change the font style. Font, let's change the font weight. Colon, bold. Then I'm closing it. Now let's save this. And let's refresh the Visualforce page. Now it is displaying in the here. Like this, it is displaying, right? So it is applied the font bold also. Let's take this 800. Instead of a bold, let's take the 800. Now this is one Visualforce page. Similarly, whatever the Visualforce pages are there, for this application, assume that this is for some bank application. For whatever the page I go, right? So this style should be applicable. This style should be applicable. So what I'll do is I'll take out this style. I'll take out this style. Now click on a save. Now let's open a notepad. So let's open the notepad. On the notepad, I'm creating the H1 color. Right. Similarly, I'm adding the font weight. And I'm closing it. So whatever I have added in the VF page, I'm adding into the H1. I'm adding into the H1. Now let's save this page, save as. Now I'm going to save it. Now here I'm going to save this like a style.css. I'm saving it to style.css. Whatever the style.css is there, I'm going to save this as a style.css. So it is saved as a style.css. Now, I have created a CSS in my system. So if when you create it, it will be created like this. It will be created like this. So it will be style, which is a CSS format. Now go to the Salesforce. In the static resource, let's say that this is the bank CSS, and choose the file, click on the file. Now the file that I have is admin development session 6 style. Click on this style.css. I have chosen it from the local system and the cache control is public. Click on a save button. Click on save button. Now I have created the style sheet. Now once this static resource is created, in case if you wanted to view, click on here view file. It is a 34 byte. The size is 34 byte. Maximum size is 5 MB. 5 MB for each static resource. Overall it is a 250 MB. Now in case if I wanted to view what is the file that I have uploaded, click on here view file. So when you click on the view file, it will show you what is the file that got updated. Now once this file is uploaded, now here file is uploaded. Now this file I wanted to refer in the Visualforce page. This file I wanted to refer in the Visualforce page. Now how can we refer it? How can we refer it? Now what I am doing is in my local system, this is the local system. In the local system, I have created a file which is called as a style.css, which has all the stylings are available. Now, whatever this style.css is available in my local system, in my desktop, that I wanted to upload in the Salesforce. I wanted to upload in the Salesforce. Now, in the Salesforce, this is in the Salesforce. In the Salesforce, I have opened the object called static resource. This is, if you search it, you will find the static resource. You will find static resource. In this static resource, as soon as the user click on a new button, the user is clicking on the new button. When they click on the new button, immediately it will show a page. In this page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on and choose a file. I'll give a name and I'll specify the description. Then I will choose a file. Once I click on and choose a file, what should I need to do? Whatever in my local system CSS file is there, that file I'm going to upload it in the static resource. I'm going to upload it in the static resource. Here it is a choose file. Here I'm uploading it on the Salesforce. That means from the local system, I'm uploading the file, which is a CSS.css file, uploaded into the static resource. Now, once it is created, now the static resource is created here. Now you see here, this is the name of the static resource, which is a bank CSS, and the type is a text/CSS, and it is a public. And the size is 34 bytes, and it is a view file. Clicking on this, and here it is saying that when it is created, when it is modified, who is the person that is created, who is the person modified it, Now we have created the static resource. Now the second step is this is completed. Now the main important one is I have a Visualforce page. In this Visualforce page, I wanted to refer the static resource. In this Visualforce page, I need to refer whatever this file is there, whatever this is created, this I need to refer in the Visualforce page. So that whenever the user click on the preview button, it will open up the page, right? And then the result will be shown here. Whatever the styling is there, all the stylings will be displayed on the Visualforce page. So there are two steps. First step is in the local system, I need to create a CSS file. And second one is I need to upload it on the static resource. Once it is uploaded into the static resource, the third step is that I need to refer that file into the Visualforce page. I need to refer that file into the Visualforce page. And the fourth step is when we click on a preview button, the styles and whatever the styling is there, that should be applied and showed on the Visualforce page. Showed on the Visualforce page. These are the four steps. Now we have completed the first step. Second step is also completed. Now the third step is how to refer a static resource on the Visualforce page. In order to refer a static resource on the Visualforce page, now what we have to use is we have to use the tag called which is a apex::style sheet. The tag which I need to use it apex::style sheet. So that means I'm referring the style sheet. I'm referring the style sheet. This is the tag which we have to use it, Visualforce tag, apex::style sheet. Within that, we need to specify, we need to use the $resource. Now, whenever I'm referring this static resource here, how Salesforce will understand, because I'll be referring different options here. I'll be referring the object, I'll be referring the field, I'll be referring the another Visualforce page, or I'll be referring the static resource. Whenever I'm referring to these many objects, out of this, how this will understand whether this has to go to the static resource or not. In order to understand the Salesforce on the Visualforce page level, this has to go to the resource. What they have to use is they have to use the $resource. $resource. Dollar is nothing but a global keyword, global field. This will go to the static resource is a global. Static resource is global. Now, whatever this global is there, now this has to be. Dollar is nothing but a global field, global object or a global field or a global variable. It's a global variable. Now here I'm using the $. That means go globally, global, and then we are specifying that resource. We are specifying the resource. We are specifying the resource here. That means if you observe here, $. Is nothing but it might go to the static here, and whatever the resource I have it, whatever the resource I have it, it will go to the resource. The keywords are $resource. Dollar is nothing but a global merge field. Resource is nothing but $resource is nothing but a global merge field type to use when they're referencing an existing static resource by name in the Visualforce page. And $resource dot, we have to specify $resource dot, we need to specify the resource name. Now it is going to the static resource. As soon as I specify the $resource, it will go to the static resource. But in the static resource, there are so many records are there. Which record it should go? Then after the $resource, I need to specify the record name. Whatever the label name is there, the record resource name is there, that resource name we need to specify. So which is called as a $resource dot. Here resource name as a merge field we have to specify it, where the resource name is the name of the specified whatever the resource record name is there, that record name. So example, in this attribute, in this $resource, we have a value. Specify the static resource name, and the example is value equal to curly braces exclamation $resource dot static resource. $resource dot static resource. This is in order to get the CSS file, or in order to get the library, or in order to get the jar file. So if you are in order to get the zip file from the static resource, you need to use the apex style sheet. Within that, you need to use the $resource dot resource name that you have to specify in the merge field. So value equal to, you need to specify the curly braces exclamation and then $resource dot, then you have to specify the whatever the static resource name is there. Now let me show you that we have implemented this Visualforce page. Right now this is showing as a normal. Now what I'll do is I'll add the apex page, style sheet, and in this I have an attribute called value. Value equal to curly braces, exclamation, dollar, resource, dot. What is my style sheet name? Let's go and check. Style sheet name is bank CSS. Bank CSS. Paste this bank CSS, let's say. Style sheet is a self-closed. Style sheet is a self-closed tag. Apex colon style sheet value equal to curly braces exclamation dollar resource dot bank CSS. Now let's go ahead and see. Now it is automatically applied the CSS. It is automatically applied the CSS. Now similarly, you wanted to apply the background color for this paragraph, right? So that means I need to modify this file. If I wanted to modify this file, how can I modify it? I cannot click on this edit button. in order to modify the file, I need not to be clicking on this. In order to modify the file, I need to open my style sheet. Whatever the style sheet is there, I need to open that style sheet. Here I am going to paste it. Paragraph is the standard HTML keyword. And let's say here I am going to use the background hyphen color. Background hyphen color, colon, let's say I'm putting some wheat color, which is a light color. Let's say. Now I have updated my style sheet. Now I need to click on the edit button, get the latest file, click on save, and click on save button. Now once that is done, now it is a 62 bytes. Click on this view file. Now it has a H1 tag. Now let's refresh this. Now it is applying the welcome to Swapna IT, and also it is applying the background color for this paragraph. Right? Now similarly, we have implemented this new tag, new link tag, right? So let's go ahead and add the Apex Salesforce, the output link. I'm adding the output link here. Right, so for this output link, I'm adding the new link. So new link is the class. Let's take a copy of this new link. Now I'll go to the CSS file. Let's open the CSS file. In this CSS file, I'll add the new link. Let's click on save. Right now it is just displaying as a normal. Right, so now I'm going to update my static resource because I have updated the file. Click on this choose file, style, and choose this, click on a save. Now it is 226 bytes. 226 bytes. Click on a view file, which has a H1 paragraph new link. Now let me refresh this page. Now it will be displayed here. Open Salesforce. Right? Now, whatever the page I implement in this organization, simply I can use only single line, which is called as a apex colon style sheet, value equal to the style sheet name. Right? So if you are seeing in case in your real time, if you are seeing the style class here, new link, but you cannot see style tag is not available, then check for apex style sheet. If you have a style sheet, in this style sheet, you might be having a style class, which is called as a new link. Now that styling is getting applied here. That styling is getting applied here. So this is how your CSS style sheet get applied. This is an external CSS I wanted to apply to the Visualforce. All the Visualforce, whatever we are implementing it for the bank or for any organization, if we are implementing any Visualforce page, by default I can use the standard style sheet because they will only one time the company is going to give us the styling. Right, whatever the page we implement, that's the same styling we should follow it. That's the reason all the styles we can place it in one style sheet and load it into the static resource and refer the static resource page in which are the page you wanted in Visualforce page. Any questions?
Ma'am, can we override the styling defined in style sheet?
If you want to override it, you have to use the, for example, you wanted to create another style class here, right? Now, in that case, you can just say that ampersand important. No, let me show you here. Now, in case if you want to override this one, now it is right now it is a blue important. Right now, I will say here color. No, and take out this important from here. Now, and just paste it here important. Right, then you can override. Whenever you wanted to override anything, just make sure that you have to add an important. Now, how about if I have in both the places important is there? Both the places I have an important. Now, whatever at the client side, whatever is available, that will take care. It will not take the existing one. If you want to override the style sheet, you can just apply the another style, create another class here and refer that class here in this style class. Only thing what you need to use is exclamation important.
Oh.
Any other questions? Homework is implement a Visualforce page, okay, which says this is the header. Header is displaying in the board, and then you have one paragraph here, and then you have a button. Button color is a red color, and then after that we have a normal information. And entire Visualforce background is a different color. Entire Visualforce background is different color. So this is the homework. So that's all for today.